The Opinionated Idiot.
I always feel like somebody's watching me and I get no privacy. What's going on, everybody? I'll wink at the camera real quick. I'm going to wink. I know you're watching. I know you're watching. It is Tuesday, May 2nd, 2023. My God, this year is flying, but welcome back to another live show here on the Opinionated Idiot YouTube channel. I am the Opinionated Idiot, and we do live shows here every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and now the bonus night, the big nights on Saturday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm always here. I'm always here. If you're just catching us live, I want to welcome in all the live chatters. If not, you catch this on replay. You can still have fun and leave comments down below. Please make sure as you come in, or if you're here already, to smash that like button. We got a lot to go through this evening. There's been new document dumps in the Kohberger case. We're going to talk about Dana Smithers. I can't handle this all myself. I can't do it all myself. I got to have my resident agent here. Oh, look who's in the house. It's Agent Chase. She's hanging out. How are you? You're muted, by the way.
Oh, I am muted. Hello. Good evening, everyone.
Listen, Agent Chase, I can't handle this all myself. I had to have you back on the panel here. We got a lot to go through. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I have notes. I have my notes back, everyone. It was like a match made in heaven when I grabbed them off my desk this morning at work.
Did you hold
there
them
they
up?
are.
Did you hold them up and all of a sudden the golden light came down and you were like, oh?
Oh, indeed. So that was the highlight of my day. And now I have more notes, and I've moved to a notebook, and I even have a binder I might start using.
Oh.
So,
are you going to use colored tabs too, like little colored tabs? Tell me you have colored tabs. You have colored tabs. Let's give her a round. Let's give her a round of applause.
Yep, there's my colored tab.
Give her a round of applause for the colored tab.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. There. Colored tab. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yes.
I love it.
Colored markers, special highlighters. Yep.
I can see you're a little red because
I'm always red, and it's a little warm, but hey, I'm always
all right. We got a lot to go through.
Yeah,
I'm going to go through and just pull up some of the people in the chats. I have tons of channel members here tonight.
We have a room full.
I love the support tonight. Let's go all the way back up to the top. Let's see. We got a new membership to recognize. Brenda has become a new member of the channel. So I want to do that. Thanks for your contribution, Brenda. And look at Victorine, you're slacking. You're slacking. Brenda got you. Tsunami was first in the chat tonight with Victorine right down below. AZ is here. Dr. Bob is here. Heather is here. I'm going to try to do this as quick as I can. Whoa, look at the Opinionated Idiot. Said he's starting soon. Let's see. Who else we got? MRG says, hey, all, missed you. Been listening. Love the new look, Brian. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Fireflies in the house. Good to see you here. Raggedy's back. Hello from New Hampshire. Yeah, if you haven't already, drop in the chat and let us all know where you're from. Drop in the chat and let us all know where you're from. Kay is here. Kyle's here as well. Good to see you. Let's see. MJC is here as well. Rachel is here. Who else we got? Christine Brown is here. Hello. Let's see. Chosen Rose in the house is what's up, everybody. What's up to you? Mitchell's here as well. Good to see you. I'm trying to get through. OCD is here. Says, oh, happy day. Made it again. Hello, everybody. Hello to you. Gator's in the house. Gator. Avocat's here as well. It says dare to care. Absolutely. I got the dare hat. I'm rocking the dare hat. I love it. One of the OGs is here. SC in the house. Good to see you. I'm glad to see you back. AZ is here. I think I recognized earlier. I'm going to try to get through these quick. Gail is here as well. Who else we got? KKK. I always say this. 2014 is here. Hello, everybody. Looking forward to another great stream. Thank you so much for checking in and hanging out with us this evening. Sweet and Salty says, hey, Brian. Hello. Hey, Laura. Mods in chat. Good to see you. Laura Connor's here. Hello from Monte Carlo, Brian, the Opinionated. Have a good day. Now, Laura, I learned a little bit about Laura. I'm not going to say what her information, but Laura is an OG on this channel. She goes back a long time through many changes in this channel. And someone told me a little bit about Laura, but she's a little bit of a celebrity, but I'm not going to say too much. But yeah, that's awesome to see Laura here. Wow, I haven't seen that name in quite some time. Let's see. Angel Girls is here. Good to see you in the chat. Oh, snap. Sharon is here. We got a lot of people. I think I've got everybody. So what are we going to do, Laura? We're going to start with the document dump, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's bring that up. We have new Bryan Kohberger documents. We're going to pull those up here. And if you haven't already, come on, guys. We're slacking. Only 39 likes. We got almost 100 people watching. Let's get those likes going, and we'll start pulling up some of these documents. All right, let me do this. I'm sharing the wrong screen. Hang on 1 second. 1 second. Let me do... So what I mean, you know, I was talking about tabs earlier. It would make it so much easier if you could queue tabs. All right, I got the first document here. Let's pull that up. All right, first documento. All right. So in the district court, the second district court, what do we got here? We have a declaration of Wendy J. Olson in support of the motion to vacate the amendment non-dismissal order. So when I see these documents, it looks like there's a little battling going back and forth about the gag order. You can actually see here to the left side of the document who the defendants are in this case, and they are fighting to get that gag order lifted. Here's all your media outlets here that are listed in this document. And again, I apologize. I literally got to look at these for about 10 minutes before we got on air. Laura, what do you think? Fighting the gag?
Yeah, they're fighting the gag order. They want clarification as well on why it's being
they're
allowed to do and what they're not allowed to do.
So you said you made an interesting. You saw something very interesting in this about Exhibit A, and I'm going to read just this first paragraph here, and then I'll let you talk a little bit about Exhibit A. I'm a partner with the law firm of Stolt Rives LLP, counsel for petitioners in the above captioned matter. As such, I have personal knowledge of the facts and statements contained in this declaration. I support the declaration in support of the motion to vacate or amend the amendment non-dismissal order. It says attached here to Exhibit A is the true and correct copy of the filing in State of Idaho versus Bryan Kohberger case, CR 2922-2805. And you said you saw something interesting about Exhibit A.
Well, I'm just reading here again. It's a true and correct copy of the filing. As we scroll down, we talked about Exhibit A before with
a lot of exhibits
being Bethany Funk's, the affidavit from Richard Batanti as to what Bethany Funk saw and heard in her statement. That has nothing to do with this. They're different Exhibit A's.
I gotcha. So let's read this really here. So it says here below, it says a victim's family wants to speak with the press about Mr. Kohberger's prosecution, but they feel bound by the gag order. Major Christopher Paris of Pennsylvania State Police told reporter Chris Ionelis that he could not answer whether police had launched any review of unsolved cases that could be linked to Mr. Kohberger because of the gag order. Wow. Moscow Mayor Art, I'm going to say Blvd, told reporter Eric, why do people have to have all these like weird last names? Zuko, or I probably said that wrong, that the city attorney advised he could not answer questions about overall community healing in the Moscow because of the gag order. Journalist,
this is a good one.
Yeah, journalist. You want to take that name?
Taylor Merfendereskis.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Merfendereskis.
Yep. Public record requests were denied by the Latah County Sheriff's Office, Moscow Police Department, Pullman Police Department, Washington State Police Department because of the gag order. Gary Jacobs, chief of police at Washington State University, and Matt Young, communication coordinator for the city of Pullman, told reporter Morgan Romero that they could not answer whether Mr. Kohberger applied for his graduate assistant's research position with the Pullman Police Department because of the gag order. The Moscow Police Department refused to advise a reporter from the Idaho statements how many cell phone towers are in the area near where the murders occurred, the size of Mr. Kohberger's cell, and the size of the Moscow jail, and the nature of Mr. Kohberger's meals because of the gag order. Law and crime reporter Angela Levy was denied access to Kohberger's booking video from the Latah County Sheriff's Office because of, quote, the court's non-dismissal order. I declare under penalty and perjury under the laws of the state of Idaho that the foregoing is true and correct. So what do you make of all this? What do you think? Interesting, super interesting to me.
These are everybody's complaints.
Yep.
And it looks like it also includes the right to know requests and the public records requests that they were submitting to gain info, and also Bryan Kohberger's meals, and the size of his jail cell. Wow.
The size of his jail. What was the other thing about his cell phone or something?
The size of his cell, meaning his
cell.
jail. I had to read that like 2 or 3 times. I was like, well, does it matter if he has like a iPhone Pro XL?
Right.
Like
I don't think he's getting a cell phone in jail.
No.
So let's see. Certified of the state of service. Just goes into how it was all handed through. It was all emailed. And so not really much left here.
And right there, that's just a page holder. There's nothing redacted. It's just simply
right. And that goes back to the document that was released before. And I forget what the document was, but we saw that Exhibit A, and everybody was like, "Oh, it's been redacted." No, it's just a page holder.
Yeah.
So let me see. Through the attorney. Yeah, I don't think there's much here. You pretty much get everything in that. These are just all press inquiries.
Page 15 talks about who was present, and there's some redactions on there.
Yeah, I'll go down.
But the rest is just each person's
right.
Each
here you go.
Part, right there it is.
Yeah, if you want to read this one, you can take it.
The following attorneys were present and attending by Zoom: Bill Thompson, prosecutor; Ashley Jennings, the senior deputy prosecutor; redacted attorney for redacted co-counsel / attorney for somebody. And but the co-counsel attorney means that person is most likely working with that first attorney that's redacted for the same person. So blanks 2 and 4 should be the same name. And then there's one more attorney for, and then another person, Shannon Gray, attorney for it should say attorney for the Gonsalves family, and Ann Taylor, public defender for Bryan Kohberger. Judge Marshall's clerk, Jennifer Oliphant, was also present. So, yeah, I mean, we could speculate on who's redacted. To me, it makes most sense that it's probably Bethany Funk's and Dylan Mortensen's attorneys, and one of those 2 witnesses has 2 attorneys. And when you read on page 16, it does talk about one of the attorneys, not Shannon Gray. Shannon Gray is a male. It's redacted, responded that he expects his client will be a witness in this case. He also expects that the decedent's, I can't read that word, families, the decedent's families. Okay, so that's just the families. That's just Gonsalves, Chapin, Kernodle, and Mogan's
Right.
families will also be witnesses in this case, since it's a potential capital case, and they would be called to testify. And then right there, his client to decline all media. So the client right there in the third blank in that paragraph, that's a smaller blank. I've been looking at the size of the redacted
To try to
blank
match up the
and
names.
match it
Yeah.
up with the character counts.
Right.
So that would most likely be a shorter one. And then the judge appreciates somebody's perspective.
Nisba says, holy shit, look at this chat. It's 2 to 3 times bigger than it was the one I was in a week and a half ago. You should have been here last Saturday night. We had almost 350 people watching. It was so fun. And
Yeah, we got
this channel's growing. People really enjoy being over here and hanging out with us. So
130 watching, 61 likes.
yeah, it's awesome.
Here's something interesting. Mr. Gray discusses the probable
PCA.
cause affidavit and alleges that the information is getting leaked from the prosecutor's office.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's probably not a good
thing.
Attorneys are not prohibited from advising their clients, but they're prohibited from speaking to the media. Yeah, that's obvious. Yeah.
Judge Marshall clarifies that the attorneys are not prohibited from advising their clients, but they are prohibited from speaking to the media. Yep. Example, you cannot advise your client what might happen at a state status hearing, but you shouldn't be speculating about what happened in the media. Judge Marshall also reminds attorneys that their statements made must also be true. Mr. Gray takes issue with the interpretation of substantially prejudiced, referring to the substantial likelihood of material I can't read that. Proceeding and objective proceeding in the matter. States his client Gonzalez have kept this story alive, and their comments have helped the investigation. Judge Marshall explains that the necessary of convening in an impartial jury in Latah County. The public is obsessed with this case, and the comments are harming the ability to impanel a jury. All parties need to allow the judicial process to see this case through. Oh boy.
I mean, OJ found a jury.
Yeah.
I mean, look at all the other big cases.
Well, I said that too. And I said that a couple streams ago when I talked about this. I said, as much as it's being talked about, they're going to find a jury. I'm pretty confident they will, even if they have to move it over into another county. I still believe that they're going to find a jury. Listen, this is an extremely public case. I can't say much. I mean, I'm talking about it on my channel. There's umpteen million other channels that are talking about this. The media is talking about it. I mean, it's got, like someone was saying, the everyday, it has all its elements to be this, and I hate to say it, like just this, I'm not even going to really go there. It just has a lot of elements to it. It has a lot of elements to it that we're just all very curious about. We all want to know, that is the thing, and that's the thing that we have to remember here, and I've said that here on this channel, that we have to remember that 4 innocent people were instantly scrubbed of their lives. And if Bryan Kohberger did that, then Bryan Kohberger needs to be held responsible. But if it's not Bryan Kohberger and he's innocent, then he has the right to be let go. And we need to find out who did this. I'm pretty confident that there's a lot of evidence. And again, I've said this, where people just freak out and they go, they have nothing. They have nothing. You don't even know the amount of evidence that they have. And we don't even know what the defense has yet. But we want to know, because a lot of things in that happened in that house that night, and I'm not afraid to admit it. And I'm sure you're not afraid to admit it. A lot of things don't add up, or are just weird curiosities, or just weird things that happen. It's a big mystery. It's a big mystery. So the Judge Marshall solicits final comments from those who in attendance. Prosecutor Thompson states that many of Mr. Gray's accusatories are not true. The state has concern about ability to panel a jury and have a fair trial. He has hoped that all parties will begin to show professional responsibility. Redacted states that she has advised Redacted not to comment. she takes redacted position, and Taylor thinks the court is expresses appreciation. So it's a lot of battling going on. There's a lot of frustration in this case. I think there's a lot of frustration on both sides. You're going to see probably a lot of motions like this. And I'm already going to tell you right now, something like this put down by the judge seems that they're not going to take any shit. So things are going to probably start getting tightened up here pretty quick. What do you think, Laura?
I'm read ahead to page 26.
Want me to go to 26?
Yeah, I'm trying to find where I just read that. Oh, I'm sorry, it's 25. In number 2, line 5, it says, in that Zoom call, I informed Judge Marshall that my clients, the surviving family of the late Kaylee Gonsalves, are not parties to the case and therefore are not subject to the order. The judge stated that she mistakenly believed that they were parties and therefore were subject to the order, and she instructed me to advise them. So that's Shannon Gray's relevant facts. So he is saying that Steve and Christy Gonsalves, as well as the sisters and brother, they're not parties to the case, so they shouldn't be subject to the order. But the judge said, yeah, they are. And Shannon Gray is now saying, no, come on, they're not. So they're going back and forth. So Shannon Gray is probably quite a force to be reckoned with. And he's really putting up a big fight here for the Gonsalves family. And good for them for sticking up for them. But yeah, I mean, it's just the same thing that we've, just talking about the Gonsalves family. And so that's all Shannon Gray, the next couple pages.
Yeah, real quick, I gotta do this in a second. Hang on one second. I have an announcement to make. On air. So the Opinionated YouTube channel, Opinionated Idiot YouTube channel, has just cracked 3,800 subscribers. 3,800 subscribers. So thank everybody in this chat, night after night. 4 nights a week now. We're trying to get this channel moving. I get to update the big board. I'm missing a 0, so it looks like I have only 380 up there. But 3,800, and I could not have done this without all of you supporting this channel and supporting this community. So I do appreciate all of you. I really do. I really do appreciate all of you doing this night after night after night. So that's good stuff. That's cool. All right. So let's keep moving on. Do you want me to keep? Is there anything else in the other documents we wanted to bring up?
Well, there's also the 911 center.
Sure.
I think they're trying to say, we have tons of people including the Washington Post, the New York Times.
What page?
I'm on page 34.
Okay, hang on one second.
So the Washington Post, the New York Times, KXLY, which is probably a local radio station or a local news station to Moscow. That they've
New York Times, I see it. Yep.
The audio and transcript of the 911 call, and they're saying, why are we subject to this gag order when this is public records? Like, they're trying to say, don't come at us when we're being told we're part of this gag order. So they're trying to fight the gag order as well.
So it says I'm just going to read it real quick for the audience. On January 16, 2023, the New York Times submitted a public records request to Whitcomb 911. The New York Times requested copies of any 911 calls regarding incidences at King Road or Queen Road in Moscow on November 12th and November 13th, as well as any 911 calls from 11222 King Road since January. On January 20th, let's see, it's basically, this is interesting too. On January 20th, 2023, KXLY submitted a public records request to Whitcomb 911 to request a copy of audio and a transcript of the 911 call made from 1122 King Road on 11/13/22 at 11:56 a.m. So we now have, you know, that time. And then Whitcomb reasonably anticipates that there will be an additional public records request for the 911 call made from 1122 King Road on November 13, 2022.
And if you scroll down to page 36 in
There's
4.7,
a lot of requests.
4.7, it says, pursuant to the Uniform Declaratory Judgment Act, Chapter 7.24 Revised Code of Washington, Whitcomb 911 seeks to have this court declare the rights, responsibilities, and duties of the parties, including whether Whitcomb 911 must disclose the 911 call made from 1122 King Road on November 13th, 2022, as requested by the defendant. So they are, they want to know, they want answers, because it sounds like if that's granted, we will have the 911 call.
I don't think we're going to hear the 911 call until trial, if we go to trial.
I mean, now it becomes a First Amendment versus Sixth Amendment thing, and geez, this.
But this is like this big. Again. This comes to being like one of those $1 million questions. Like, what the hell is on that 911 call that they don't want to release?
Like, what's the big deal?
Yeah,
it obviously is a big deal.
Well, absolutely. I know what you're saying. Like, figuratively, like, what is the big deal? Just release it. You know, like, we want it because we're reporting. We're media outlets reporting. Well, somewhat, I guess, but we're reporting on this. I want to hear it. I want to know what the hell's on there. I want to be able to decipher and go through it, just like everybody else in this chat that's watching tonight. So I'll just keep scrolling down here. I think that's the end of the document.
Yeah, everything else just appears to be more exhibits.
Anything else you think in the other document dumps that we should bring up? The motions.
It looks like it's just
memorandum to support of motion to intervene. It's just like legal documents basically outlining what we just talked about.
Yeah, and it looks like
notice of appearance. We got that.
In the second memorandum, wow, 28 pages long. There is from page 6 through page 23. They're pleading their argument. It broadly prohibits any statements about Mr. Kohberger's prosecution. I'm on page 3 right now, looking at the table of contents.
Yeah, we'll take a look at that. If anybody's interested in seeing these documents and they haven't already, I'm going to drop the link here in the chat for everybody. You can bookmark it and go there. They usually do a document dump every week or two. And you guys can go over and follow that on the Idaho government.
MJC with Carrie Lynn just said 911 calls are always released before trial. This is the first time I remember the 911 call blocked.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
And then Heather's saying if there's evidence on the 911 call, it won't release it prior to trial. And then Tsunami saying if a judge keeps to the gag order in place, then parties will go back to the state Supreme Court.
Yeah, and I'm looking here on page 26.
And body cam footage.
Page 26, it says B, the gag orders violates the Idaho Constitution for the same reason. So they're looking right at Idaho Constitution. So they're going to push that right probably to the Idaho Supreme Court.
Yep. That's what he did. So what Tsunami just said. The judge rules to keep the gag order in place, then parties will go back to the state Supreme Court. 100% right on that.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not a legal expert. I'll be honest with you. A lot of the language that's in here, I don't really know much about, but I'm learning. And, it's just interesting to go through this. We're pretty smart and sound-minded of what's going on here. But again, we are not legal experts. Don't take our we're not giving legal advice on this channel. We're just kind of speculating and looking over documents to what may be going on. I would probably put you to channels like The Lawyer Mr. Handsome Peter that everybody watches, and all the ladies go crazy for him. But I find him to be a very, very credible source in this. I would say Emily D. Baker as well. If you want truth, because those are trial lawyers that know what's going on in the legal language in these documents, I would inspire you to watch those channels. If you want kind of water cooler talk, like kind of like we're doing here, come check us out. This is just we just giving you an everyday opinion on this. So yeah, Fisher Tom saying the 911 needs to be released with the body cam. So Drunk Turkey in the house, what's going on, buddy? Hey all, no update on the baby turkey. We have a date of May 11th if she doesn't come before then. Hey man, we want to congratulate you on your new baby. I hope everything goes well. And
here.
Yeah, bringing a new turkey into the world. It's cool that you're hanging out with us tonight too. I hope all is well on your part over there, brother, because you gotta hey man, they got a good channel over there. I like watching the Drunk Turkeys. They're good guys. We've hung out before. So shout out to Drunk Turkey Show. Anything else you think?
No, the other documents are more just the legal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is this notice of appearance? Let's bring this up real quick.
I just looked at that.
Let's take a look. Oh, it's more press, defendants, the press.
Yeah, Wendy Olson and Corey
Olson,
Carone
yeah.
are entering their appearances as counsel for a coalition of media companies. So wow. They're representing that's a lot.
Yeah. Krem, Spokane. We know Krem, of course.
Wow.
New York Times, Washington Post, Seattle Times.
Interestingly enough, there's the Tegna Incorporated /them. That's the same corporation that owns WNEP, which is the Northeastern and Central Pennsylvania news regional news.
Interesting.
So that would be the Bryan Kohberger Pennsylvania news station as well. So that could cover, if it's Tegna Incorporated, if they're included, that would include most likely all of their subsidiaries.
Let's see here. Yeah, this is just that's the last document there. So yeah, so we wanted to just bring up the new document dump, so we could go through that and just show everybody what was going on. And we'll continue with the show here. So there is a article that I found, and it says Bryan Kohberger's defense claims surviving roommate has evidence that would clear him. So I know you were kind of scrubbing through this. We saw this come up. I did, I was Google search Bryan Kohberger and all these new articles come up, but we'll look through this. We'll read through it, get the opinion on this one. So let me go up here. So again, it says Bryan Kohberger's defense claims surviving roommate has evidence that would clear him. And this was posted back on April 25th. I'm sorry, it was published on April 24th and then updated on the 25th. So it says a defense investigator working on behalf of University of Idaho murder suspect Bryan Kohberger asserted in a newly unveiled court filing that a surviving house roommate has exculpatory information is material and necessary to the alleged killer's defense. Kohberger, a former criminologist PhD candidate, is accused of entering an off-campus home on November 13th.
I don't have a phone number for Marie Berger, Kaufman.
My watch is listening. Sorry.
Oh, all right. November 13th, 4 a.m. That would be wild if we called her live on air. Excuse me. After the occupants of all undergrad students at the school had been out on a Friday night into early Saturday morning, police allege he fatally stabbed 4 of 6 people inside. Madison Mogan, Kaylee Gonzalez, both 21, along with Xana Kernodle and Ethan Chapin, both 20. The 3 women lived there with the 2 survivors while Chapin, Kernodle's boyfriend, was spending the night. Of the 2 survivors, one allegedly heard a commotion and witnessed a masked man exit through the rear sliding door, according to police affidavit. The second, a Nevada native named in the Nevada court filing made public Monday, allegedly heard or saw things that could clear the suspect, according to Richard Bettoni, a defense investigator working for Ann Taylor's Kohberger appointed attorney. In the documents obtained by Fox Digital, the subpoena demands the roommate's appearance on June 28th, 2 days into Kohberger's planned preliminary hearing, and warns of potential fine of $500 or 25 days in jail if she refused to appear. Quote, during the course of my investigation, it became known to me that she has information material to charges against Mr. Kohberger. Batoni wrote in an affidavit to support of the subpoena, revealed Monday after the online sleuths found a case listing on a Washoe County, Nevada court document. Portion of that information Batoni added is expulsionary to the defendant. The information is unique to her experience as it cannot be provided by other witnesses, according to documents. As a result, Mr. Kohberger's defense is asking the court to compile her testimony in a scheduled preliminary hearing in June, as they hope to challenge the probable cause used to justify her arrest. I'm going to stop there because it's kind of just a lot of stuff that we've already heard. I don't know. Hang on here. If there's no preliminary hearing because there was a subseding indictment, the issue is the subpoena, at least for that hearing, becomes moot. Boise criminal. I mean, we've kind of already heard all this stuff.
Yeah.
Channels. I think it's just. I think the title's a little clickbaity, in my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah, the only thing that I can glean from there is that
I mean, it's
unique information. I mean, but that we already know that. Like they're stating that, it became known to him.
But you know what I always see in these media stories or these stories, what they fail to put in there, and if you go back and actually read the document, it says that basically the way that I read it, and I think that Peter said this on his show, is that there's evidence for both sides in this, that there could be some evidence against him and there could be some evidence that clears him. And they always love to leave out in these articles the evidence that may be against him, because I think that they're just trying to write these articles and say, hey, this is a big story, click on this. And they usually bury it later down in the article somewhere. So, I mean, it's nothing really new, but I thought this was very interesting because this did pop up in my search the other day. Anything you want to add, Laura, before we move on? Or
no, I mean, I think we pretty much know all of it. Okay.
All right. So we'll move on from that. So another article that came up from the Daily Mail, Idaho University murder suspect Bryan Kohberger will return to court this month as parents of victim Kaylee Gonzalez fight gag order on this case. And obviously we just read through the documents that were dumped today, but we'll just pull up this article and read through a little bit of it. So again, here's the title here. I'm not going to reread that. It says Kohberger will appear in court on May 25th for a hearing on the gag order. So he is going to appear. And that was the thing that we were thinking about. Like, is he going to really be there? It looks like he's going to actually be there for this hearing. Kohberger is also due in Latah County Courthouse for a preliminary hearing in June 28th to hear evidence against him in the murders of the 4 Idaho University students. Last week, it was revealed that a surviving roommate, Bethany Funk, had agreed to be interviewed by the defense team for suspected killer Bryan Kohberger. Idaho University murders suspect Bryan Kohberger returned to court this month, earlier than expected, as the parents of one of the victims fight a gag order. And obviously we know that we just read through those documents. So it says Judge Megan Marshall set to have the hearing on May 25th for 28-year-old criminology PhD student accused of brutally murdering 4 students in their sleep on November 13th. Kohberger was also later due in Latah County Court for preliminary hearing on the 28th of June, where his defense is expected to challenge the evidence against him. But he will first appear on the motion hearing that was set over the weekend to address a motion on the gag order. I wonder why they would be bringing him in for that. I wonder why they would be bringing him in for that. That is the date for the court to address my motion on the gag order, Shannon Gray, the attorney, Steve and Christy Gonzalez. Kohberger is charged with one. Wow, that's going to be crazy. I'm sure that Steve and Christy are going to be there. So I'm sure that they're actually going to get to have eyes on Kohberger, I would assume, that day. That is a date for the Steve. I just read that. Sorry. Kohberger's charged with, we know the charges. The judge had previously said that she would not address the motion on the gag order until the Idaho Supreme Court issued a decision on an appeal from the media. But the state's highest court dismissed that appeal, finding that it should have been filed in a lesser court. Last week, it was revealed that 21-year-old Bethany Funk, a surviving roommate of the 4 University of Idaho students, were killed as agreed to be interviewed by Kohberger's defense team. Funk will meet with the lawyers at her home in Reno, Nevada, after trying to argue that she could not have to testify during the various court hearings. Court documents earlier revealed that Funk's lawyers were arguing that she should not have to testify at the preliminary hearing in June or for the duration of the trial. In a new document submitted last Wednesday, both sides came to an agreement that the defense would go to Funk in the interview in Nevada, dismissing a subpoena that they issued on April 11th. It means that the surviving roommate may be forced to appear at a preliminary hearing on June 28th, depending on the information she gave investigators. I mean, we basically know all this stuff here, but again, I just wanted to read through.
I'm trying to see if this is the same one I just opened up.
Sure. You guys could do me a favor. I got 171 people watching, and we're only at 88 likes. If we get to 100 likes tonight, I'm going to gift out a free membership. So to go down there and smash that like button. Once we get to 100, I'll open up the wallet and we'll give a free membership tonight. We're at 90.
I don't know if I have the same article you have brought up.
Yeah, I'll bring it to you. Hang on, I'll just put it in the private for you. Here, it's in the private chat.
Okay.
You can read my note from earlier.
I just saw something. Oh, that's the Daily Mail one.
Mm-hmm.
This one.
It's a big article.
You sent me this one. The Fox 10 Phoenix one.
Yeah, we read through that.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Want to pull that back up?
Yeah, I see something here that's
all right, hang on.
Kind of interesting.
Let me pull this back up. Where in the article?
Scroll down. I'll tell you where to stop.
Hang on one second.
Toward the bottom.
Let me get rid of that.
Okay, scroll up a little bit. I have it brought up bigger. Oh, where it says that experts have told Fox News Digital that they expect Latah County Prosecutor Bill Thompson to be extra careful as he seeks a conviction in the potential death penalty case in order to avoid possible grounds for appeal. Last month, he informed Judge Marshall and Kohberger's team that his office would be disclosing this week potential Brady Giglio material related to a police officer involved in the massacre probe. But that doesn't mean there's a connection with the stabbings of 4 University of Idaho students.
That's probably Stickergate, right?
Yeah, I would imagine that is Stickergate. And it says Brady materials information that could potentially prove a defendant's innocence. Giglio material is damaging to the integrity of a witness. In this case, one of the officers involved in the investigation. So that's confirming that if we're going with the source, that it is one of the officers, but it doesn't mean there is a connection with the stabbings of the 4 University of Idaho students. So they're saying right there that the potential Brady Giglio material isn't necessarily involved with this case. It could be a prior case, which leads me to believe it would be Stickergate. Because
let me gift this membership real quick.
Go ahead.
Hang on 1 second. We're going to gift a membership, a member. We're going to have a new member of the group, a new member. So you're going to get a free month on the old Opinionated Idiot here. We're going to look up. I've gifted a membership. The newest member of the group is, come on, Gail. Gail is a new member. Congratulations. You go 1 month free on the old Opinionated Idiot. Welcome to all the member benefits. All the member benefits. Anything else you want to move on?
Let's move on.
All right. Moving on. Oh, hang on. Let's take a look and bring up this 3-minute video from Law and Crime Network. More evidence. More evidence. Bryan Kohberger's school security guard records entered Idaho student murder case. Let's listen to this.
Finishing today's show with yet another update in the Bryan Kohberger saga. Student and employment records were released from the accused quadruple killer's school district, where he worked as a security guard up until just 2 years ago. According to the documents, Kohberger's security supervisor at Pleasant Valley School District in Pennsylvania considered him to be reserved, courteous, polite, and even reliable. Kohberger.
I got something to talk to you about after. Let's rewind that and listen.
Supervisor at Pleasant Valley School District in Pennsylvania, where he worked as a security guard up until just 2 years ago. According to the documents, Kohberger's security supervisor at Pleasant Valley School District in Pennsylvania considered him to be reserved, courteous, polite, and even reliable. Kohberger graduated from that same district in 2013. In 2018, he was even credited with helping save the life of a staff member having a medical emergency. As part of the job, Kohberger would report unarmed to the district to work 8-hour security shifts on the weekend, making sure all school buildings were locked and in working order. Records show that he resigned from the position in 2021 after working there for 5 years. Kohberger wrote in his resignation letter that he decided to leave, quote, freely and voluntarily after considering his options. Since Kohberger's arrest, Kohberger's alma mater, DeSales University, released a statement, but his Pennsylvania school district has remained silent. All of their requested records were from a court-ordered subpoena, but it's unclear whether the prosecution or the defense requested them. This all due to a gag order that has been put in place by the judge. So, Brian, why would either side want these high school records? They're almost a decade old.
So, Jesse, they're either going to be a window into who Kohberger is and was, if it's the prosecution saying, hey, look, he was quiet and reserved, and he was exactly what we would think the type of person, or they may even go even further, the type of animal would do this type of quadruple murder. Or for the defense, they would say, hey, this is completely out of character. Look, he saved someone's life. He was always about security, was always about taking care of people around him. Who they are trying to portray Bryan Kohberger isn't who he is based on his history. Maybe they got the wrong guy. I think it's going to come down to some level of character or relevance based on the crimes, and either side will have their pick as to whether or not it helps or hurts them. But if it hurts more than it helps, they may both want to try to stay away from any kind of character evidence in this case.
Let me throw another theory out here, because I think that they want the records of him, at least as a security guard, to say, listen, this is a guy who knew how to, check all the perimeters, see all the security, track his steps. This is somebody you might be saying, if he was really stalking the victims, we can kind of understand how he learned this. I mean, he was really working there the year before this happened. That's my take on maybe they want to know his actions as a security guard. Still think it's a little bit of a stretch, but hey, that's my take. So Terry, I'll move to you. The district didn't release all of the records on Kohberger. Why wouldn't they do that?
I think they're playing it safe. First of all, there's a federal law. It's called the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. And what that does, it protects school records. Now, remember, he was working at the school district, but he was also a student at the school district. So just think about your records from school. You need to get permission before those records are released. And that's what the school district wanted to do. They wanted to send a notice, even though he was in jail at the time, to get those records released. So they went through that process. They thought it was important to do that. The other issue, as far as the employment records are concerned, they cannot release everything. Think about it. Name, rank, and serial number is generally what you're going to get as far as employment records are concerned. They cannot in any way, shape, or form give any sort of non-criminal investigation, especially if it didn't end up in resulting in some issue as far as the employee is concerned. And so they're not going to release all of that either. What they did release, I think both you and Brian are right. They can use it for or against him.
Just, learning the backstory of Bryan Kohberger. Bryan, Terry, thank you so much. Everyone out there, thanks for joining us here on The Daily. We're going to see you next time as we discuss justice in America.
All right. So some interesting things going on there. They've gone back to apparently his first employer. They're going to submit and get probably some character witnesses there to testify. What do you think? Do you think this could be one of the exhibits on the document that was,
We haven't been privy to?
Right. That's what I meant to say.
I mean,
Words I was looking for.
typically the defense is going to look for character witnesses to work for him to make him seem like a good person, a reliable person, a trustworthy, including the fact that he saved somebody's life in 2018.
Yep.
And it was also interesting. I found that they said he resigned in 2021 on his own and he left freely. I mean, why was that included? I guess to show that he was not terminated or anything, but I don't know. I don't know, but it seems like somebody's trying to vouch for him.
Yeah. We'll have to see. It just twists and turns every time that we look. Every day, it's something new. It's something new. Okay, let's talk about Dana Smithers. I have a quick video, really quick. We're going to pull this up and let everybody know that Dana Smithers' remains have been recovered and verified through dental records. Let's play this really quick.
Human remains found in a wooded area have now been identified as Dana Smithers, who was reported missing last year in Monroe County. According to the Stroud Area Regional Police Department, an autopsy was conducted on the remains that were discovered right near Park Avenue and the Interstate 80 on-ramp on April 27th. A portion of the remains were examined and identified as Smithers from Stroudsburg. Police say the investigation remains active. Anyone with information is urged to contact police.
All right. There's not much out there. I've done a lot of Google searching. The only articles I can get is kind of these small articles that basically just say the same thing that we just saw in that kind of 26-second clip. My thoughts on this, my opinions on it. I'm just so glad that she has been, found. Unfortunately, she's not alive, but it does start to give the family a little bit of a healing process that, sadly, they can, start to maybe work through their grieving. Now they have her body to start doing some investigation, and hopefully that they can get some conclusions. The reason we wanted to bring this up as well is, a couple of weeks ago, I started talking about Dana here on this channel. I know that other channels, like just even months ago, were talking about this. Not really any of the, I would say, more relevant channels. I saw small videos that had popped up, 200 views, 300 views. And I thought, because, tying into, now listen, I want to make sure that we're very, very clear on this before we go forward. I am not, nor is Laura, saying that Bryan Kohberger is involved in any cold cases that are going on in Pennsylvania. But the Pennsylvania authorities have made statements and said they are cross-referencing information in these cases that could possibly link. And I think a lot of it is in the relation to where his parents' home is, into the relation where some of these cold cases are. And Laura, you're in and around that area, so you probably know a little bit more about this. And what do you think?
Well, some things about her family and friends are very vocal in the Facebook group, about finding her and everything. And they said, now that we know this was her, this is her, let's share some great stories about her.
Yeah.
And everything. And she was described by many people as larger than life. And she always did the right thing. One person spoke about a story where she gave her last dollar to a homeless person. So she wanted to do the right thing. She was also talking about her summer plans last year, how she spent a lot of money on day passes to a pool and how she was looking to just get the season pass because she said it would be worth it because she'd be taking her child there. So she had plans for the summer. She definitely had plans for the summer. Her body was found 0.3 of a mile from her home. She was caught on the neighbor's Ring doorbell cam leaving right around 11:05 p.m. with her cell phone in hand. Her cell phone was found in her home. I'm sure investigators are looking to see why she would have kept her phone at home. I mean, we can all think to ourselves, why would you walk out of your house without your phone? I mean,
No one leaves without their phone.
yeah, nobody does anything. I mean, I think when I go to my next door neighbor's house, I take my phone with me. Even though it's really close, I take it with me. It's our lifeline. It's everything. I
Yeah.
mean, the only thing I could think is if somebody, family or close friend, pulled up to the front of my house and I ran out to their car, maybe, just to say or get something. So I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see what comes out.
Yeah,
We'll
before
see.
yeah, go ahead.
I mean, we don't know. We don't know a lot about what she, what she did the past. Well, that day she was at a bar, the happy hour bar and grill. That's all over the missing posters and everything. It was a festival all day, and then she was trying to get her friend to come over to her house, and she seemed, I don't know, her friend made some comments. You can find them, but I hope we get more answers, regardless of what those answers are. I mean, this family deserves more closure. She has 3 children. It's very sad. She was young and her life was cut short, and I hope we get the answers sooner than later, no matter what those answers are. And I mean, it's Monroe County, and that's where the Kohberger parents are from.
Let me just play this video right quick, and then we'll talk about what we're kind of alleging or speculating, or just some theories that we're throwing around out there. Let's play this. This was from 10 months ago, so let's play this.
Answers after she mysteriously vanished 25 days ago.
2822 Eyewitness News reporter Sydney Costas live for us in Stroudsburg. She's got more with the family's concerns tonight. Sydney?
Nick Candace,
It was way too
45-year-old
long, though.
Dana Smithers has been missing for nearly a month now. She was last seen here on Stokes Avenue. I spoke to her daughter-in-law today about what Dana was doing that day and when they decided to call police.
Someone doesn't just disappear. You don't just vanish out of the air and are never seen again.
Bryan Kohberger is the daughter-in-law of Dana Smithers, a Stroudsburg woman who's been missing since Saturday, May 28th.
Dana is very outgoing. She is the type of person who will start up a conversation with you in the grocery store and like you just made a lifelong friend. She is very outgoing. She is very, she can make anybody laugh.
Kohberger says that Saturday, Dana went to a street festival at a local restaurant with her 6-year-old daughter. Later that night, she walked a few houses down to a friend's home on Stokes Avenue. That's when she was last seen on a Ring camera after 11 p.m. The next morning, her cell phone and medication left behind at her.
Just want to go back to that Ring cam. Let's see.
Ring camera after 11 p.m.
Looks like she's almost like looking over at someone. I mean, I'm just speculating or waiting.
On a Ring camera after 11 p.m. The
Oh,
next
she did look
morning,
at
her
something.
cell phone and
What's that?
She did look at something off to her
Yeah,
right.
it's like almost like she was looking out to the right.
Like,
Yeah. Let me look back again. I mean, that just might be a natural reaction too. I'm just
True.
speculating. Let's take a
True.
look.
Could just be part of her
Avenue.
gait.
That's when she
Right.
was last seen on a Ring camera after 11 p.m.
She's peeking out,
The next morning,
But
her cell
again,
phone
I'm
and
just
medication
speculating. I'm
left
not.
behind at her
We don't
home
know. We
with
weren't
no
there.
sign of Dana.
Her purse, her wallet.
Oh, her phone's in her hand. Someone
Yeah.
just pointed that out.
Yeah, her phone is in her hand.
Holy shit.
That's why they were so confused when they found her phone in her home. She left with her phone, so she obviously had to go
Ring
home.
camera after 11 p.m.
Right there, phone.
Yep,
Let me go,
you can barely see it.
let me go back. Hang on. I just noticed that too. I'm like, phone's in the
Ring
hand.
camera after 11 p.m.
Right there. Boom.
Right there. Yep, you can see it.
Holy
further than
shit.
her.
So that means that her phone was placed, either she went back in her house or someone went and placed her phone back in that, because her phone was found in the house, right?
Yes, it was found with her medication and her wallet, and they
Holy
said that she was
shit.
religious with taking her medication on time. So she wouldn't have left for an extended period of time. I don't know if she took it at night or in the morning, but she had every intention of returning.
That's crazy. I'll be honest, I didn't even know that. Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah, so she obviously I would assume she got home and then left her house for some reason or went outside
Or
and
maybe, but did they say they found any sign of like attack at the house or anything? Or
nothing. They said
oh,
I believe they said nothing was out of place.
wow, that's so odd.
She
So
just left
TF,
everything right there.
great pointing that out. Said I noticed that a few months ago. Her phone was in her hand. You're so right. Wow. And Chosen Rosen saying that's wild, man. And then yeah, everybody's agreeing. She definitely looked to the right. Seemed like she hesitated. Let's back the video up. We'll take a look again.
On Stokes Avenue.
You
That's
know what? Let me actually slow it down.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
we'll go like a half speed. I'm gonna
Yep.
turn the sound off though, so it doesn't go. Oh, I sped it up.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. All right, we'll go back a half. Let's take a look. Let's see. Yeah, she kind of peeks like she's like looking for someone or. And again, we're just speculating, but I see her body language. It almost looks like she's peeking over, right? Am I crazy?
Yeah,
Watch.
the edge of the porch.
Right there. That little lean. Let's look again. Right there. Boom. Like she looked down the street for something. All right, let's keep playing this normal. We'll hear it out, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about Dana Smith.
and medication left behind at her home with no sign of Dana.
Her
Yeah, tsunami.
purse, her wallet, her car, everything that you would bring with you anywhere you go is at the house.
Dana's
Dude, my mind is like, what is going on?
I mean,
So
and we can even say, I mean, I'll sometimes leave my house and run one of my daughters to dance, and I'll only take my phone and my keys, but I can pay for Dunkin' with my phone. I can pay for lots of things with my phone with Apple Pay or, through the Dunkin' app or whatever. So the phone, yeah, like I mean, yeah, a Dunkin' run. Like let's say she would have went for a Dunkin' run or even to a convenience store, she would have needed at least her phone.
Party 5 says she going to a friend's house. Maybe she was looking for a car.
Well, she said I believe in one of the interviews it said she was going home, but they said she seemed distracted.
So Dee Dee says she didn't have a date. She asked her friend to come to her house
Yep.
and just hang
Just
out.
hang out. Yeah.
Phone case have places for credit cards. Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah.
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 All right, let's keep playing through, and then we're going to talk a little bit about what you kind of investigated.
Yes.
All right,
The
let's.
family reached out to Stroud Area Regional Police after no one heard from her for 2 days. State police have since joined the investigation. On Wednesday, law enforcement searched the area of Glen Park but found nothing. Dana was last wearing black jeans and a burgundy shirt. Farino says each day brings more discouragement and they need the public's help to
Sad.
find her.
Someone has to know something. She has children, she has a small child, and she deserves to have her mom in her life.
Dana's family has been hanging missing person signs in the area just like this one. Anyone with any information on the whereabouts of Dana Smithers is urged to call Stroud Area Regional Police.
It's sad. It's really sad.
Absolutely. Seems like she has a really great tight-knit family too, based upon, their statements and everything. So that's
So I find the only thing I find a little odd, why report her missing? She was reported missing like 5 or 6 or almost a week after, right?
No,
No?
actually, I don't have the source right in front of me, but I believe they called police like the next day, and the police were like, she's an adult woman. She can do what she wants. And it was like 5 or 6 days later, and like June 4th, I want to say, until they finally let them file a missing persons report.
Yeah. So what do you want first? You want the affidavit first? Or?
Yeah, let's take a look at that.
All right. So Laura was doing some sleuthing today and thought of, because we know that Dana Smithers has been found. We know that police made statements that they are looking into maybe some connections between Pennsylvania police said they are investigating cold cases to see if there's any connections to this in Idaho. We are not implicating anybody. We are just, doing our own sleuthing around and just giving opinions. These are just strictly opinions. And let's pull this up. So I'll pull up the affidavit, and this is the Pennsylvania search warrant that we've pulled up. And let me enlarge this a little bit, and it's on page 9. And I'll let you do it, Laura. You can read this because you were the one that came across this, and it's really interesting.
I'm looking to see where it is.
Furthermore,
yeah. So it says, furthermore, investigators began physical surveillance of the property and area of, but that's not redacted in my copy.
We'll just keep it redacted.
Oh, it's his parents' address.
Yeah.
Chestnut Hill Township. In the early morning hours of Tuesday, December 27, 2022, observed Bryan Kohberger, thank you, walking near this residence. Additionally, Kohberger's vehicle was observed entering the Indian Mountain Lakes development on December 16th, 2022. That's where his parents live. And the vehicle is believed to be on premises. Investigators are also monitoring Kohberger's cellular phone, which appears to have been in the same vicinity as the residence. And here's the part that I was like, wow, I didn't see this before. On Wednesday, December 28th, 2022, while conducting surveillance, investigators observed Kohberger traveling throughout Monroe County and arriving back at his residence where his parents live. So throughout Monroe County, that's the county he lives.
Yep. You want me to pull up the map?
Yeah, go ahead, pull up the map.
All right.
So everybody can get the visual here.
So we have a map of Monroe County, and we'll give you guys a visual of what Monroe County is. Let me just recognize this super sticker first. So Darlene has given a $5.50 Canadian super sticker for the chat tonight. I appreciate that so much. Thanks for hanging out here on the channel with us. We do appreciate it. If you all can just take a second and smash that like button down below, it helps get this channel out in the algorithm. But let's give. Thank you so much.
Steven.
All right. So let's pull up this map of Monroe County, and I'll let you kind of take this away, Laura, because you were the one that kind of thought about this, and I said, hey, let's talk about it. So,
yeah. So
this is a map of Monroe County. Yep.
Okay. No, it's a yellow bag. I'm trying to get my reading glasses here.
No problem.
I'll do my best. Oh, I have the tab. Let me just open up my tab.
Yeah. I can move my mouse if you need to.
You're good. Okay. Toward the bottom, do you see the
Broadheadsville?
Broadheadsville, yes. Yep. Right next to Broadheadsville, to the left is Effort. That is where the Kohberger family residence is.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, I got my glasses here.
Yep. Take your time. Just going to recognize this really quick. Dr. Bob gifted 5 memberships. I'm so sorry that I didn't recognize that.
Dr.
Let
Bob.
me just go up and look. Thank you so much, Dr. Bob. I'm sorry. Sometimes it's tough now because a lot of people come in and the chat moves so fast. So I do apologize if I miss things. I'm so sorry. It's just that the chats are getting they're getting larger. Dr. Bob, thank you so much for your gifts. To the 5 new members here. Bella is a new member. Mud Beaver, which is a hilarious name. I don't know why that makes me laugh. TF20. Mandy Joe was gifted a membership as well. Darlene was gifted a membership. So we have 5 new members here. Let's give the recognition there for the 5 new members. Dr. Bob, thank you so much. So that is a 1-month membership to the channel. You get membership perks.
That's awesome.
And thank you so much for the support. That's very kind. And when that membership runs out, you will have the ability to up that membership. When the stream ends tonight, I will go over to my community tab and I will update the Discord link. It's only for paid members. If you all want to join the Discord, you can. You can just hit the join button down below. My membership started $1.99 a month. That's less than a cup of coffee a month. And you can come out and hang with us. We have a very adult chat. There's no shenanigans in there. I just said shenanigans. Can you believe that? I'm getting old. There's no crap in there. We keep it clean and we keep everything strictly to cases that we talk about on this channel and keep the productive conversation going backstage. And Kristine, thank you so much for the $2 membership, $2 gift. And I want to appreciate you on that as well. So we'll give her a congratulations. Thank you. You all are too great. Okay, so Monroe County effort.
Yeah,
here.
so right to the left of Broadheadsville, if you can point out where effort is.
Right here.
Actually it's okay, I see how you're zoomed in. Okay, I'm good. So there's effort. There's effort. Now if we go over to the right.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, no, zoom back out. Up here, you're going to see Stroudsburg and East Stroudsburg. It's about a half hour from Effort up to Stroudsburg. Takes one road, connects up to Interstate 80 and cuts across. That would be your most direct route. I believe I mapped it. It's 31 miles or 31 minutes, I'm sorry. And you would take Interstate 80 that way. So this is all Monroe County. So he was traveling throughout Monroe County and arriving back at his residence. So that's what he was doing on December 28th, traveling this county. And as you can see, there's many, it's not a small county. A major area is, I mean, this is the Poconos.
Yeah, you have Tannersville, there's a mall.
Yeah, like big outlets there,
There's outlets there. There's water parks in and out of there. There's a lot of restaurants.
Great Wolf Lodge, Kalahari, I believe, are right in there. So there's a lot there. But it's just noted that on December 28th, he was traveling throughout Monroe County.
It says throughout, and it's not just saying like to a specific area, like he went to such and such. Now, again, we're only making opinions. We're not tying him to anything that happened with Dana Smithers, but it's something to think about. And like, I'm going to probably say this, Laura, I'm going to make the assumption. I'm sure the Pennsylvania State Police are going to look at this case very strongly and may compare some evidence there, I would think.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they're already, I believe they're probably 3 steps ahead of us.
Sure.
But
I mean, because the police did put that statement out there as you know, as we knew where Kohberger was from. They said they were investigating. They were looking at some cold cases and comparing. So
I mean, yeah, and that came out in what, March? And here we were, April, and a body was found in Monroe County of a missing woman. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know what the statistics are on how long it typically takes to find a missing person, or, you know, what makes it, you know, I mean, obviously it's kind of springtime here in Pennsylvania. So people are out and about walking around, but it was a municipal employee that found the remains. So it was a worker, a county. Yeah. So it wasn't just a hiker or anything. So I imagine it wasn't that far off the beaten path. I'm interested. They said they searched Glen Park. I'm not exactly sure where Glen Park is in relation to where she was found. I'm very sad for the family. I'm very sad.
Yeah, it's sad. And again, I'm glad that they can start getting some closure and healing, and now they can go through the process of finding who did this, and hopefully that we do find that hopefully they do find the person that is responsible, or people that is responsible for this, because we don't know. Hang on one second. I just had some information come through. I did actually just find something from from Law and Crime Network 2 hours ago. They did drop a new video about the hearing set to fight the gag order. Let's play through that real quick before we end up the stream tonight.
Yeah.
All right, let's play this. Right here.
It alleges that the defendant, Bryan C. Kohberger, on or about November 13th of 2022 in Lake County, state of Idaho, did willfully, unlawfully, deliberately, with premeditation, and with malice aforethought, kill and murder Kaylee Gonsalves, a human being, by stabbing Kaylee Gonsalves, from which she died.
Now, the family of murder victim Kaylee Gonsalves is petitioning the court for a change in a strict gag order. A hearing related to the motion is now set for May 25th, just 1 month before murder suspect Bryan Kohberger's lengthy preliminary hearing is scheduled.
This is State of Idaho versus Bryan C. Kohberger.
Kohberger was arrested in late December of last year for the murders of 4 University of Idaho students found stabbed to death in an off-campus home. In the weeks following the murders, officials made no arrests and kept tight-lipped about the case, only revealing a white Hyundai Elantra was spotted near the crime scene in the early morning hours of the murders.
Real quick, I just want to stop this. I got a $2 Canadian. A lot of Canadians tonight. A lot of Canadians love this. I love the Opinionated Idiot YouTube channel. They're watching from Canada. And you know what? Earlier, I just forgot to recognize this too. We have our friend from Japan that comes in and watches our show live every time we go live. So we have the Opinionated Idiot YouTube channel is being viewed in Japan. That is so crazy. So I want to thank my Japanese friend for coming in and hanging out with us. But let's recognize this. Victorine says the channel is growing. Lots of generosity tonight. Absolutely. And it cannot be done without this community. We have such a great community that come over and watch this. And listen, you dedicate your channel, your time to this channel. And I commend you for that, because I've always said this. You all are the ones that make this channel go. I just lay the platform, but you all come in, give your feedback, the comments, the likes, contribute, and have fun. It's all about having fun here. And I know that I know that we cover some very sensitive subjects here and some very sensitive material, but I want this to be a place where people can come in and be able to just let go of the everyday, their everyday life just for a little bit, and just, be able to come in and maybe offer some great and viable information into these cases to kind of let go and give back to someone else that you might have a tip or something to look into that can help. So we do appreciate that here. And I have to say that I've met some really amazing people just over the last couple of weeks as this channel is growing. I'm meeting and being able to chat with them in our Discord group. If you're not in there, you're missing out. You're missing out. And, now my budding friendship with Laura, someone that I respect, and she does a lot of research and helps this channel. AZ backstage, we have a lot of information from AZ. He gives me a lot of viable information, so he takes part in this too. And these are people that are reaching out to me and just saying, hey, we want to help you. And I love that they're dedicating their time to, dedicating their time to find out what happened to these victims, especially in this Idaho case, but dedicating their time and saying, hey, we see something here. We'd like to support you and help as well too. So thank you. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I really do. But again, Victorine gave the $2.20 super chat that she says the channel is growing, lots of generosity. So let's do this. We'll give her some congratulations. Thank you.
Great cash, homie.
Let's see. And I want to pull up. I think someone said someone gifted a membership. Let me go back up. I'm so sorry. The chat goes so quick sometimes it's hard to watch. Let's see. Yes, Darlene has gifted a membership. I appreciate you, Darlene. Thank you so much. All right. Hang on one second. All right, let's play this out. Oh, let me find my tab.
We are confident that the occupant or occupants of that vehicle have information that's critical to this investigation.
Investigators later linked that vehicle to Kohberger, a PhD student who was studying at nearby Washington State University when the murders took place.
So you're coming from Washington State University, and you're going where? Oh, okay.
At the time of his arrest, Kohberger was staying at his parents' house in Pennsylvania. After an extradition hearing in early January, Kohberger was taken back to Idaho and booked in the Latah County Jail. That's where he's been ever since. On January 4th, Latah County Magistrate Judge Megan Marshall issued a specific gag order that would block investigators and attorneys involved in the case from speaking with the press. 2 weeks later, on January 18th, the order was amended to include attorneys representing the family of the victims. It's those family members now pushing back on the order.
I don't know what their motivation is, but their point is well taken, which is, why does this gag order apply to an attorney of a victim who is not directly part of the court proceedings?
Litigator Rich Schoenstein tells Law and Crime Network the motivation behind the motion may not be totally clear, but he does say the gag order as a whole is bizarre.
It's very unusual, and I think it's improper. The victims are not parties to the case. And so when you think about a court imposing rules for the trial, and that's essentially what this is, the court imposing rules for the trial, it imposes those rules on the parties. So in a criminal case, it's on the prosecution, it's on the defense. It can be on witnesses once they testify and are subject to the jurisdiction of the court. But it's very odd to have a gag order like that apply to people who aren't part of the court proceedings, directly part of the court proceedings. And I think it's dangerous territory to sort of go in that direction.
Shannon Gray, the attorney representing Kaylee Gonzalez's family, filed a motion back in February to appeal the gag order.
There are two challenges, as I understand it, to the gag order. One is by the media. There are lawyers representing a collective of media outlets challenging the gag order, and they went to the Supreme Court of Idaho, and that court said, no, you can't come to us right away. You have to go back to the lower court. And then we have this separate application by the counsel for one of the victims, and the lower court was waiting to deal with that until it saw how the Supreme Court handled the other challenge. So that's what happened. The Supreme Court last week rejected the media challenge, and then the lower court set this challenge for hearing on May 25.
On April 24th, the Idaho Supreme Court ruled the gag order would remain in effect. More than 30 news organizations, including Law and Crime Network, brought their request to lift the order. Supreme Court justices said the argument should be taken to the magistrate judge who initially issued that gag order. After that, Gray requested a hearing about the order, which is now set for May 25th.
This is a gag order that the court imposed principally on parties in the case. So the prosecution, the defense, the investigators, not to speak to the media outside the court. And the gag order is written very broadly so that it appears to also apply to victims and their counsel. And that, I think, is the issue that's going to come before the court on May 25th.
Gray argues the gag order should only apply to attorneys, investigators, and their agents, and defendant Bryan Kohberger. Gray believes the family members of the victims should be allowed to speak under their First Amendment rights. But even with a hearing date set for later this month, Schoenstein says an official ruling may not be made right away.
In the first instance, it's the trial level judge reconsidering the order that's been issued. And this happens all the time. A judge issues an order for anything, and the parties or whoever's affected can come in and ask for reconsideration or modification or even to withdraw the order altogether. So I think this hearing is just going to be oral argument of the legal positions. I think you'll hear from counsel for the victim's family that wants this gag order modified so it doesn't apply to them. And you may hear countervailing argument. I don't know if the prosecutors or the defense are going to take a position about the gag order. They certainly will have the right to be heard, but I don't know what they're going to say. And then the judge might decide it right then and there, could modify the order on the spot, or as frequently happens at oral argument, the judge can say, thank you very much. I'm going to consider it, take it under advisement, and I'll be issuing a decision or order in the near term.
With a looming preliminary hearing date set, Schoenstein believes a ruling will be made before June 26th.
That preliminary hearing is going to be an intense subject of media interest. So everybody has to know what the rules of the road are, who can speak to who, when. That has to be decided. So I think the judge is going to have to
it gets me every time
before then.
But there could be several different outcomes should the magistrate judge's ruling be appealed.
Now, the trial judge could do a couple of different things. The trial judge could modify the order effective immediately, and then it has to be appealed to be changed. Or the trial judge could modify it, but could issue a stay of the modification pending appeal. Or whoever wants to appeal it could go up to the appellate court and ask the appellate court for an immediate stay pending a determination of appeal on the merits. That happens sometimes. Now, I expect here that there'll be a lot of deference to the trial judge to conduct the trial and set the rules of the courtroom as she sees fit. I think that it would be odd to see the appellate court staying that before considering the legal issues. So I think whatever the trial judge does is going to be the rule in the first instance.
The defense may support the gag order as is, arguing it could affect Kohberger's right to a fair and impartial trial.
I think the defense here has an argument that there's been a lot of speculation and innuendo all over the internet, and it's intense. And the defense's argument is it's going to deprive the defendant of a fair trial to have the lawyer of the victim potentially going around on media outlets spreading the story and trying to portray the defendant as being guilty. That's not what the trial is for. And so from the defendant's point of view, we want to limit the media attention as much as we can pending trial. But of course, then you have the First Amendment on the other side. And, there's a right for people to speak about fascinating cases. There's a right for the media to cover it. There's a right for the victims to speak out. All of that is under the ambit of the First Amendment. So it's a very interesting competition between First Amendment rights and the victim's rights to a fair trial.
Right now, it's unclear whether Bryan Kohberger will appear for that May 25th hearing. Schoenstein says it's well within his rights, but ultimately will be up to Kohberger and his attorneys to decide.
He's going to be there. He wouldn't miss it he wouldn't miss it. He's going to be there. I think he'll be there. You think he's going to be there, Laura?
Absolutely. Yeah. He can't wait.
He can't wait. All right, so let's real quick. We're going to pull up another article really quick. I'll let Laura take this one, and we're going to close up the stream here. We'll say our goodbyes and close up the stream. Before I do that, I just want to pull up a link for Thursday's show, and then you're not going to want to miss Saturday because it's Super Saturday. We do Saturday Night Live. It's all Kohberger talk on Saturday. Those are the big shows, and I take live calls on Saturday for the second part of the show. So you're going to want to be over here and check that out. So on Thursday, we're going to look back. It's been 10 years since the Boston Marathon bombing. We're going to go back and review that case. I'm in the Massachusetts area. I'm going to tell you about my experiences with it. I was not there that day, but I remember a lot of the events of what happened around here. And I want to just tell a little bit of that story and then go back and look at, obviously, what happened. That was crazy. I remember listening on that app. I don't even know if the app is still out. iPhone 50 radio, and I literally listened to like the live SWAT and the live police for that day when they actually caught Joe Garzanayev. It was crazy, 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 crazy. So I have that, and then scheduled for the 7th. We have Jeffrey Epstein. We're going to talk about that. There's been some new developments. His personal calendar has been released, and there's a lot of interesting names that is in that personal calendar, and we're going to talk about that. So I've dropped the link there, and then I'll drop the link for Super Saturday coming up for Saturday Night Live. That is the big show. That's where we take, again, live calls. I'll drop that. All those links, you guys can go in, hit the remind me, and that will remind you when those shows start. And of course, I'm here live every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, Laura, you got one more article. We're going to bring this up and then cap out the show for the evening. All right, so from the Daily Mail, this article was back on April 6, 2023, and I'll let you take this one.
Yeah, so I mean, we all know, what Daily Mail's about. Is the Idaho murder suspect a serial killer? Cops are reviewing cold case files in Pennsylvania counties. And here's the keywords, where Bryan Kohberger attended college, looking for links. Authorities in at least 2 Pennsylvania counties where murder suspect Bryan Kohberger attended college have searched their cold case files to look for links connecting the cases to the suspect in the Idaho college murders. I'm going to skip through down here. Northampton. Okay, let me say it one more time. Northampton County District Attorney Terrence Houck, who asked his staff to research whether Kohberger could have any ties to any unsolved cases in his jurisdiction. Is his name out there? Did he do anything here in my county? He has no prior criminal record. He was a student at Northampton Community College in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. So they took
lost. Where are you?
Oh,
in the article.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. Do you have it pulled up?
Yeah, scroll down.
Got it.
Is this the same? However, since okay.
Yep.
Scroll down under BK's picture.
Sorry. Got it.
Okay.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Since he was a student in Northampton. Okay, so he may have attended classes at a satellite campus in Monroe County. Using a crime information center, authorities in, now pay attention, Northampton County. They searched. They couldn't find anything in Northampton County. And then they said in neighboring Lehigh County, where DeSales University is. The district attorney, Jim Martin, asked the same questions. They had no contact with Mr. Kohberger except a 911 call in this database where his car was locked behind a parked gate on a bike trail.
Where's that bike trail?
Where's the bike trail?
That would be.
I don't know.
I would say.
I'm kind of wondering. I mean, I'm sure everybody else is wondering where this bike trail is, but I'm on it anyway. And then he thanked police and apologized for the inconvenience. We have no unsolved homicides that in any way meet the modus operandi of this event out in Idaho. Okay, so what they're saying here is in Northampton County and Lehigh County, they have no unsolved homicides that would meet the way he did things or the way he is accused of doing things in Idaho. That does not include the missing persons, and it doesn't include Monroe County. So this article is saying we don't have anything, we don't have any unsolved homicides in Lehigh or Northampton County, 2 of the neighboring counties of Monroe, to say we don't have anything that matches them, but there's nobody talking about there's no DA from Monroe County, and they're not talking about missing persons. So
I'm going to probably say this too, and I might go out on a limb here. I'm probably with the new developments with Dana Smithers. I'm sure that case is probably looking at very closely as well, because this article came on the 6th, and Dana was just found. Yesterday, correct? Yeah.
No, April 27th.
April 27th. I'm sorry.
Last Thursday, she was the remains were identified.
Identified. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Yesterday.
So, so it doesn't mention anything about Monroe County, and it doesn't mention any missing people. So, I mean, I'm sure they're on it. I'm sure they're racking their brains thinking, could there be anything? and everything. But it just shows that they haven't discounted Monroe County. They haven't said about the missing persons, because obviously you don't have a homicide when you have a missing person until you find the body.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's about it. So I'm just curious where this bike trail is. Maybe I need to go get a mountain bike and start exploring some bike trails and getting locked behind the gates. It's not my thing. So
All right, real quick, let's look at the survey really quick. So I asked at the very beginning, I'm glad we got 195 votes up there. I said, if the BK case was to conclude today and you were a juror, I should have said, and you were on the jury, I should have said juror, how would you vote? 46% say guilty, 12% say innocent, and 42% say not sure. So I think maybe, because I looked at it when I first came in, our stream tonight might have changed some minds, or maybe casted some doubt. So again, very interesting poll. We'll release that there. And I think that's going to be it, Laura. I think we're going to wrap this one up.
Yeah.
Again, I appreciate you for your time and your effort in relentless backstage sleuthing and bringing me in on some material there. AZ is always great as well. He's always behind sending in our three-way chat that we have and kind of bringing some things into the mix as well. We have a fabulous group here of people that come out and watch these streams night after night. Listen, I just want to make this, prevalent to everybody. Yes, I can't do Kohberger every night. I can't do it. If something drops and it's something relevant to it, we're going to talk about it. But you are missing the other shows if you're not coming over and watching those other shows too, because the material in what we're doing here is the same amount of research, the same amount of show. We're just covering a little bit of a different topic tonight. But you are missing out if you're not coming over and watching the shows, because we really get into it, deep dive, and figure out a lot of things and look back at some of these cases. So again, I want to thank everybody in the chat. You guys are amazing. Thank you for all of the super chats, all the memberships that were gifted tonight. I promise when this stream, thank you. When this stream ends, I will go over and post the new link to the Discord group. That'll be on the community page. So anybody that has a membership that is not joined, that will be available to you. I'll post it right after the stream. And again, we'll be back on Thursday evening, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to go back to a throwback Thursday, 10 years from the Boston Marathon. And I will be talking about that. Hey, we're getting close. 3814. We're getting close to 5,000. And I'm telling you right now, and I was just saying this to Laura today, I'm tasting 4,000. It's coming really quick. So hopefully by Saturday's Super Show, Saturday Night Live, we'll be at 4,000. That would be a great celebration. But I'm going to be stoked when I hit 5,000, and then stoked at the end of the year when we hit 10,000. So that's the goal. That's the goal. But I cannot do it without all of you. Come over, watch the lives, because that's what we do 4 nights a week. Comment on those videos, smash the like buttons. I appreciate it. Laura, that's it. I'm the Opinionated Idiot. This is Laura, Agent Chase. We want to thank everybody. We'll be back, we promise, and we'll see you guys all next time. Everybody be safe, all right? Be safe out there.
All right.
We'll see you.
Peace.
Bye.